season of unpredictability continued last week. After upsetting the Boston Cowboys 2 weeks ago, the Oilers looked to be in excellent position as they entered last week's game against the Charlestown Counties. Unfortunately, Randolph was stunned 14-12 and now face the possibility of not making the playoffs unless they win their final 2 games of the season. First up are the 6-time defending EFL champion and currently undefeated Marlboro Shamrocks, a team that easily handled the Oilers in their previous matchup. With a sense of urgency, it should be interesting to see if Randolph can take the play at another level to stay in the playoff hunt as week 9 of the 1997 EFL season is set to get underway. And good evening, everyone, as we come to you from Memorial Stadium here in Randolph as Media One brings you exciting Randolph Oiler football. I'm Bill Roache along with John Horrigan. And John, first of all, the thing is that is a must-win situation for the Oilers because they can face the possibility of not making the playoffs for the first time in quite some time.
In theory, yes. Realistically, no. I spoke to Bob Turner prior to starting tonight's ball game, and he said, listen, we don't have the pressure on us. Last week, for all intent and purpose, the season was over. Here's Marlboro coming in undefeated, looking for their 43rd consecutive EFL victory. They haven't lost a game in EFL since July of '94. So Bob Turner turns it around and says, hey, we played these guys close, with the exception of some big plays. The pressure's on them.
Yes, it is. And Shamrocks, as we have mentioned previously in other games, feature probably the most balanced offense in the EFL as they feature their first-time receiver, Freddie Staples, #1, a deep threat for Shamrocks.
The deep threat is also leading the Eastern Football League in scoring. He's scored 14 touchdowns this year. He has to be watched.
And if that isn't enough, the Shamrocks also possess the 2 top rushers in the EFL, number 23, Frank Bianchini, and number 21, Dan Harris. And Dan Harris used to play for the Grand State Warriors, and adding him to the fold really has made this team probably difficult to defend.
They can't even start the guy. Bianchini starts as the halfback. They bring Harris off of the bench. 2 explosive backs. As you said, they have to watch the air for Staples and watch the ground for Harris and Bianchini.
Speaking with Coach Bob Brennan before the game, he said that Ralph Barone, #8, will be the starting quarterback tonight. And the Oilers are very, very familiar with Mr. Barone. He had a fantastic game against the Oilers a few weeks ago.
Yes, he did. He's well known amongst the players in the league. Very poised quarterback. A lot of professionalism behind him. You have to do a lot, put a lot of pressure on him to rattle him, and that's what Randolph has to do is get the pass rush applied and get him applied.
The key to the Oilers' victory, no question about it, is to put pressure on the quarterback. But number 2, probably more important, John, is to prevent the big play. We've seen in many situations against the Shamrocks where the Oilers may have had them in a 3rd and long situation, and Marlboro just simply makes the big play to score the touchdown, get the first down. They just do the whole thing.
Well, the Shamrocks have dominated this league. They've won 6 consecutive championships. The last time anybody else, aside from the Shamrocks, won the championship were our Oilers, undefeated in 1990. They've beaten the Oilers time in and time out. The last time the Oilers won in this series is '93, but with a big play. With a little flat pass that turns into a 50-yard gain, with a big interception, with a long home run pass. They've got to stop the big plays. If we throw those big plays throughout the series history, I'd say Randolph will be playing 500 or maybe even 60% this series.
I agree with you, John. And first of all, as well, make Marlboro drive the field. That's the thing. We talked about prevent the big play, make the Shamrocks earn the scores. A lot of times, one play and bang, they're in the end zone. If Marlboro is going to score, force them to drive the length of the field.
Absolutely, and then it becomes a question of standby. It's a very humid night out tonight. I figure out the temperature will be about 80 degrees. There's fewer moisture in the air, but the defense has to have the stamina. If you're going to make them work the gridiron, well, you're going to be out there too stopping them. So you're going to dig the trenches and form some sort of defensive formation to stop them because they will attack you on the ground and attack you in the air. It's sort of like an invading army.
Of course, it wouldn't hurt also for the Oilers to make a couple of turnovers in the process, and you know, John, well enough that with turnovers, anything can happen.
That's right, and tonight they're starting Martin. Harding, the quarterback, and Mark may be prone to turnovers, going against this experienced Marlboro secondary. I'll bet you right now Anthony's going to take some snaps. Colombo will take some snaps. But that's what they've got to do is keep the turnover ratio down. Where if they do pop it up before an interception, that they cannot let Marlboro capitalize on that.
If they can somehow establish the type of game plan they had against the Boston Cowboys 3 weeks ago, that would be key because the Oilers threw the ball only 1 time in that game, John, without having a quarterback. running game basically did the job for the Oilers, as well as an outstanding performance by the defense, especially the secondary.
Well, then the onus that falls on the EFL is all about the rusher team.
Absolutely. But very short and succinct on that one. Well, it should be an interesting game this evening, the Randolph Oilers and the Marlboro Shamrocks. And again, the Oilers are going to need to control the clock, control the ball, keep it away from the Marlboro offense. And so it's the Randolph Oilers and the Marlboro Shamrocks here on Media One. And we'll be back for the opening kickoff in just a moment. Thanks, Tom. Okay, what time do you get? I've got 10 off right in the box.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Randolph Memorial Field, where tonight we'll witness week number 9 in the Eastern Football League 37 season. As your Randolph Oilers host the league champion, Marlboro Shamrocks. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the defending champion Shamrocks, who have won the EFL championship in 1991, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96. They come into tonight's game at 8 wins and no losses. Starting at center, number 79, Mike Falserini. At right guard, number 64, Scott Speed. At left guard, number 53, Don Hope. At right tackle, number 76, Jerry Snay. At left tackle, number 73, Stephen Atula. Tight end, number 89, Bob Ferrari. Tailback, number 23, Brent Bianchini. And fullback, number 44, Keith Jackson. And quarterback, number 8, Rob Barone. And split end, lead leading scorer, number 1, Freddie Staples. The Shamrocks are coached by Bob Brennan. He's assisted by Mark Gregg, Jim Adelaide, Tom Bronson, and Jim Duggan. As always, the Randolph Oilers are pleased to have the Shamrocks here in this annual rivalry. And now the starting lineups for your Randolph Oilers. Offensively for the Oilers at center, number 75, Dave Joyce. At left guard, number 69, Ted Webster. At right guard, number 53, Bobby Burr. At left tackle, number 77, Jimmy Sharris. At right tackle, number 78, Jerome Penn. At split end, number 80, Willie Casey. At flanker, number 12, Anthony Calmer. At tight end, number 81, Jeff Powers. At quarterback, number 2, Mark Harding. At fullback, number 42, Ashton Ashby. And at tailback, the Eastern Football League's all-time leading rusher, number 21, Jay McGee. Defensively, for the Randolph Oilers, at right defensive tackle, number 95, Jason Vega. At left defensive tackle, number 96, Aaron Hollins. At left defensive end, number 86, Steve Benkes. At right defensive end, number 94, Al Casey. At weak side linebacker, number 55, Derek Rucker. And strong side linebacker, number 45, Anthony Benaria. At middle linebacker, number 44, Ryan Gregg. At left cornerback, number 14, Brian Cagle. At right cornerback, number 32, Fred Turner. At strong safety, number 15, Seth Pearson. And at free safety, number 5, Charlie McFly. The Randolph Oilers are coached by Bob Turner. He's assisted by Fred Turner, Bill Turner, Tommy McLaughlin, Ed Penn, Dick Sheehan, Terry Branch, John Gates, Wayne Sumerian, Joe Calzarella, and Mosi Tatuco. The Oilers are owned by Mr. Peter O'Kane and Marge O'Kane. Folks, here are tonight's starting lineups. A reminder, folks, tonight we have a 50-50 raffle. First prize, you take home the cash, the jackpot climbing as we speak. Second prize, a wonderful Polaroid camera. And third prize, a free car wash at Brockton Car Wash. That's tonight's 50-50 raffle, the drawing at halftime. The winning numbers will be drawn by Bill Conley down near the concession causeway. So that's tonight's 50-50 raffle.
It is? There you go.
Ian Cheney again, the long setback. Barone with time. Barone looking long. Incomplete for Rich Gideon.
Drop Roache pass intended for Rich Gideon.
Within 5 yards, number 12, Anthony Palmer. Calls number 6, Sam Pearson. And once again, John, that's the thing that we talked about in the pregame show, was to prevent the big play.
Yeah, that was a home run ball there. What poise and calm that Barone showed in the pocket. He shook off his primary and looked for his secondary. Well, actually, he probably was his primary looking to his secondary first, but just a lot of composure.
It'll be second down and 10.
Second and 10.
38. 10 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. No score. First possession of the game for the Shamrocks.
Doing great, David.
Again, 3 wide receivers. Delayed draw to Bianchini. Bianchini will be taken down. Close to a first down. Derek Rucker, number 55, making the stop. Again, depending on where the spot is, it's very close to a first down. Probably about a yard short from this vantage point. Calling a pickup of 9 for Bianchini. It'll be third down and 1.
9.
A big third down situation for both teams. If the Oilers can make a stop here, it can certainly give the team a little bit of momentum. Oiler defense stacking the line on third and short. Barone in a shotgun. Under pressure, he'll fire. Incomplete, intended for Freddie Staples.
Intended for Freddie Staples. Incomplete.
Derek Rucker, number 55. And Chris Torm, number 34. Applying pressure on Barone, forcing him to throw the ball out of bounds in a punting situation for the Shamrocks. And a good start for the Oilers defense, John.
Good pressure, they flushed him out, and Rucker he's here to play tonight. I talked with Billy Turner, the defensive coordinator prior to tonight's game. He had anger in his eyes. He was looking furious, and I think his defense is reflecting that anger because they are putting pressure on Barone. He's not going to be allowed to set up at will. They're going for it.
Well, not a surprise here, I guess. Fourth down and 1. This could be a situation, John, where they may just try to force the defense to go offside. But no, Bianchini will take the handoff. Bianchini still on his feet. And Bianchini will be down. Now Casey, Steve Vegas made the stop, and Derek Rucker
Randolph ball on tap.
As Casey and Vegas were able to force Bianchini to change direction, and once Bianchini started to get out to the flats, there was a host of Oilers there, and Derek Rucker made sure he was down. So a big play by the Oilers defense, and it'll be first and 10 Randolph.
First and 10 Randolph.
From the Shamrock 45, and getting out to an initial lead in this game would be big. First and 10.
Now Randolph with a chance at the 45 of Marlboro. Harding moving off to McGee, bumps into his own body.
Jamie
The handoff to Jay McGee.
Joe Johnson.
Outstanding defensive play.
And Jay will be stopped at the line of scrimmage as number 68, Ryan Kennett, and number 3, Claude Petaway made the stop for the Shamrocks.
Well, another key would be time of possession. Randolph obviously don't want to hold on to the ball and running that, as you mentioned in Marty's previous start. They ran the whole game, and they're going to try to do that tonight.
Time of possession will be critical, John. Keep the ball out of the Marlboro offense's hands as much as possible. Second down and 10. Harding in a shotgun formation.
As I said, back on.
This is who said it, John. Harding being rushed. Harding looking to the sideline. He'll be forced out of bounds, and he'll probably lose a couple of yards on the play. Number 55, Joe Johnson, forced him out of bounds. And that should be a loss of about 2 yards.
You can see lack of confidence there. With Harding looking downfield, and actually instead of looking downfield, he was looking at the pass rush at that point. They flushed him out. Johnson forced him to the left side. And Martin used his blazing speed to his advantage. Third down.
Third down and
12. From the Shamrock 47. 3 wide receivers for the Oilers.
Behind Mark Harding, third down and 13 from the 48-yard line of the Shamrocks. Harding rolling out to his
Harding a play action, rolling to his right, in pursuit, passes incomplete, and is deflected by number 55, Joe Johnson.
Quarterback pressure applied by Larry Randolph.
And Larry Heindel was in pursuit of Mark Harding.
defense in by Larry.
They forced Harding to go to the right. And it'll be a punting situation here. Todd Roberts will be set at his 38. And back deep to receive the punt will be number 1, Freddie Staples.
They're not going to get the job done in the air. The quarterback is going to
Both snaps handled nicely. The kick is off to the right track. Kick away from
Shamrocks will let this punt roll. And will go out of bounds just short of the 10. Around the 11
out at the 12 to the 35-yard
from this vantage point.
ball first and 10.
It'll be first and 10. Marlboro. Again, as we had mentioned, Shamrocks possessing the 2 leading rushers in EFL, Frank Bianchini and Dan Harris. Oiler defense, led by defensive end Steve Beckes, as well as Al Casey, both at defensive ends, and the tackles are Jason Baker and Aaron Collins.
Oh, Bill, looking at Randolph's run defense, they only allowed 219 yards this year. Randolph 372.
Defense has played fairly well. First and 10, Marlboro from the 12. 3 wide receivers once again. Bianchini changing direction.
Bianchini on the dive.
At the 15.
Stop made by number 41, Michael Malcolm.
The hit. Bianchini gains 3 yards on the carry. It'll be second down and 7. 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter of play. We have no score. The 6-time defending EFL champion Marlboro Shamrocks in town tonight against the Randolph Oilers.
But the last time they fought, I was going to say, is when they started their string of championships, George Bush was president.
That gives you an idea how long it's been. Second down and 7. Again, Bianchini is the lone setback.
All right, we can hear Leanne. She's talking to us.
Oilers showing blitz. Barone pump fakes once, looking long for Freddie Staples. Incomplete.
Pass intended.
As the ball just out of Staples' reach, again on the coverage was Anthony Comer. And number 5, Charlie McCoy. The linebackers for the Oilers, number 45, Tony Benaria. He's alongside number 44, Ryan Craig. And the cornerbacks, along with Derek Rucker, excuse me, and the cornerbacks, Brian Hagel at left corner, Brett Turner at right corner, and the safeties, Charlie McCoy at free safety, and Sam Pearson, the strong.
Another stat that some people consider meaningless, but I harp on continually, is third down conversions as well. They held Marlboro this first time. That's going to be a key down for them.
3rd and 7. This is where the Shamrocks really made out in the last meeting between the Oilers on these 3rd and long situations. They were able to come up with the big play. Barone in a shotgun formation. Oilers again showing blitz. Barone with a quick strike to Rod Patton. And Rod Patton will pick up a first down for the Shamrocks. Across the 35 to close to the 37-yard line and a Shamrock first down.
36-yard line for the first down. That's again.
Rod Patton was the EFL Rookie of the Year just a few years ago, and he is one of the deep threats for the Shamrock team. They are loaded on offense.
And then some. They're a stockpile of nuclear warheads. So they are. They have so much talent at each position, and it just shows you when Patton doesn't start and that type of ability, what type of club they have.
First and 10 from the 37. Again, Barone operating out of the shotgun formation. Slot formation to the near side. Barone under pressure, now steps up in the pocket. And Barone will pick up the first down as he's across the 45, about the 46, and a first down for the Shamrocks. Barone showing another dimension to his game, John, his ability to scramble in the pocket and pick up the first down.
That makes him lethal back there. And just he's got such a strong arm and an accurate arm. Now he runs like a fullback.
And we should mention that the Shamrocks go 3 deep at quarterback as well as Dave Blasey is the usual starter, along with Dan Hendricks, number 16, and you may see Hendricks play at some point in tonight's game. First and 10 for the Shamrocks. Barone short drop, fires out late. Ryan Pagel and a miscommunication on that play as number 89, Bob Ferrari, was streaking down the left side just a bit, and Barone was looking for the out path.
You say Ferrari, I say Ferrari. Either way he plays like one. He's been a great tight end on this team for years. Ball falling into place. A good sign for Randolph, though. They're starting to crack the defensive line. There are fissures developing in that Marlboro offensive line. Such a quick release for Barone. It sometimes doesn't matter, even if they're in space, like Casey was just now.
Well, as I had mentioned in the first game between these two teams, John, I really firmly believe that the Marlboro Shamrocks are facing the best pass rush in the league. As you see, Chris Torn leads the league with 7 quarterback sacks. Al Casey at number 3 with 5, and Steve Menkes with 4.5. The Oilers have been doing the job on the defensive line.
Hits are moving.
Sort of a high snack. Barone will give to Frank Piacchini. Good job to pick up at least a yard on the carry, maybe 2. As he was initially tripped up in the offensive backfield, but was able to bounce off a couple of tackles and picked up about 1.5 yards on the play.
Nice little counter play.
They're looking for you down there. Go, come on. Grab that chair.
Now it's 3rd and 1.
No, you have to ask me. Will we grab this chair?
So a 3rd down and 8 situation.
Can we grab that chair?
Kids, you gotta leave us alone, okay? And quiet down and get out, right? Thanks. See you.
Another 3rd and long situation.
Take care.
Where the tight end set to the right. Barone again operating on the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Barone looking long for Patton, incomplete. On the coverage was number 29, Shane O'Hara. And Patton just had a step on O'Hara, but the ball overthrown by Barone. This will force another punting situation for the Shamrocks. And John Toyas, number 4, will be doing the kicking. And Anthony Comer is back set at his 18 to receive the punt. Anthony Comer leading the EFL in punt returns.
Multiple threat. He's our Barone on this team. Can catch it, can run with it. Watch this.
Toyas really got a lot of leg into that kick as Comer let it bounce into the end zone. A wise decision.
51-yard punt touchback.
So a 51-yard punt for John Toyas.
First and 10 on their 20. Luxury minor, we have a tiny 50-50 round. First prize, you get the cash. You can
20 minutes, 7 seconds remaining.
about $28 in this stadium. This round.
Along with Roache, Horrigan. Either one cable and John Burke on camera this evening, doing his usual fine job.
Yeah, absolutely. Toyas, didn't hear what he said. I was doing my problem. I'm sorry, Billy. But Toyas has been a veteran for so long. Punter, kicker. From 40 yards, he's almost automatic as a field goal kicker, and he's been with this franchise for years.
First and 10 Oilers from the 20. Jay McGee at tailback. Ashton Ashby at fullback. Mark Harding remains in at quarterback, and the give is to the fullback, Ashton Ashby.
Ashton Ashby on the carry.
Ashby may have gotten to the 21. He's just over the 20. We'll call it about a half-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 9.5.
Right about the line of scrimmage, you might have a half a yard on the play.
You know, it sticks to this team. Glad just run it up the gut with Ashton. Maybe try to sprint and change through the middle of the line, but keep holding on to the football. Time and possession, keep that defense on the field.
John, it's a wise thing to just play close to the vest, avoid any mistakes, especially in 3rd and long situations. If you have to go conservative, stay in the game. Second down and 9. Backs are split for the Oilers. Harding, back to throw, fires over the middle, intercepted. Larry Dory, number 77, and Harding
Intercepted by
at the Oilers 10-yard line, and exactly what we had just talked about before that play, the Oilers to avoid any mistakes, especially on long down and distance situations. And it's an example there. This is not the type of team, John, that needs help.
Exactly. Well stated. Wish I said it myself. I will. But Dory, a veteran. He's been with the club for so long. He and Heindel for years have been Oiler quarterback's nemesis. And was just sitting there saying, "Oh, thank you." Early gift, took it, ran 25 yards. Not bad for a veteran, a big veteran like that. But right now they're knocking on the door. We talked about turnovers. Here's the first nail in the coffin.
So the ball will be placed inside the Oiler 10 at the 9. So first and goal for the Shamrocks. They come out into an I formation for the first time this evening. Number 84, Jeff Lang, as the fullback.
What do we got?
And officials are calling time. As it looks as we have come to the conclusion
Roache, that is the end of the first quarter of play. With the score, the Randolph Oilers nothing, the Marlboro Shamrocks nothing.
The Randolph Oilers.
Folks, reminder the souvenir stand is open tonight. We have the brand new Randolph Oilers team photograph.
Folks,
It's the last chance to order this.
Players of the week in the EFL.
Souvenir table, what you're wondering, they received the Baba League. It's a beautiful glossy. We have it on display. The Randolph Oilers team logo. Also, we've got some wonderful sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. Check it out. Some EFL hats. Souvenir stand. Also, concession stand with our own famous hot dogs. Some shoulders night, Sunday night. And don't forget the 50-50 raffle. Bill Conley down on the causeway has just informed me that he has called race to bring in tonight's jackpot.
45 yards for a 40-yard
Folks,
average.
reminder, next week's game to end the we have a bus leaving from the VFW parking lot here in Randolph at 1 p.m. That's to go to Maine.
First and goal for the Shamrocks.
Next Saturday, 1 o'clock.
As we begin the second quarter of play, Bianchini at tailback, Jeff Lang as the fullback. Play action for Verone as he rolls to his right, looks to the corner of the end zone, touchdown!
Verone's pass is complete to Mark Ferrari.
The tight end, number 89, and the touchdown reception, and it's 6-0 Shamrocks.
A bang, and a boom. Just like that Ferrari. You know, the old faithful go to that well all the time. Palazzi did it earlier, and tonight, Verone going to Ferrari. 6-0 Marlboro.
Now they're on field. 6-0.
9-yard scoring strike.
Following the Larry Dory interception, takes advantage with a 9-yard.
So the Shamrocks taking advantage of an Oiler turnover, and we've seen that situation on many occasions.
Second touchdown.
You've got to give the Shamrocks credit. You give them the opportunity, they take full advantage of it. Toyas will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Dan Hendricks. And the kick is good. So with 14:53 remaining in this second quarter of play, the Marlboro Shamrocks with a 7-0 lead over the Randolph Oilers. John, as we had mentioned, avoid the turnovers and you can stay in this game, but unfortunately they did not do that. They got in a second and long situation. Of course, Mark Hardy, I have to say it's unfair to put him in those situations as well, as he's not a very experienced quarterback out there for the Oilers.
Well, there was a hand in his face. He never saw it, but we threw it to him. The person that it was intended for was flung down, and Dory was sitting in the flat.
Kicking off.
So as a result, the Shamrocks with a 7-0 lead, with 14:53 remaining in the second quarter of play. Again, this is Bill Roache and I'm John Horrigan here at Memorial Stadium in Randolph. We're glad to have you with us as this broadcast a production of Media One.
Number 27, Dan Drew.
Dan Drew, number 27, to the near side, and number 25, Derek X, to the top of your screen, will receive the kickoff. Drew will take it from the 7. And Drew taken down at the 25 by number 11, Rob Tomorrow, and Tomorrow with a tremendous hit. You can hear the impact all the way up here on the press box. And the first and 10 Oilers all will be placed at around the 27-yard line. Randolph will take over first and 10 as Mark Harding comes back into the ball game at quarterback. And in this situation, John, the Oilers cannot panic. There's plenty of time. It's only a 7-point differential. Try and stay with your game plan.
Let's try working down with the other team. Just game position. Let's just move it. A little time.
Once again, as we had mentioned, time of possession and controlling that ball against a team of Marlboro's quality, especially on offense, is of vital importance. So first and 10 Randolph from the 27. Harding back to throw. Looking long for Dan Drew. Along the left side, the ball was overthrown, and number 21, Cruz Dunlop, was in on the coverage for the Shamrocks. Second down and 10.
Got another timing pattern, Mark. Obviously, not even who's the quarterback. Here's a converted receiver. Here's a guy who's played receiver his entire career with the Oilers. He's a starter. He's their all-time leading receiver. And now forced to throw. It's a different game, a totally different perspective, and he's a looking process.
Yes, it is. Probably the toughest position on the field offensively, John, because you have to make all the proper reads as well. Second and 10 from the I formation.
I formation for Harding.
Here's the give to Ashton Ashby. Ashby taken down at the 30-yard line. Larry Dory, big 6', 225-pound linebacker,
3-yard gain for Ashby.
making the play. Called about a 3-yard pickup for Ashton Ashby, and it'll be a third down and 7 situation. And here's a perfect example, John. Third and long situation. You want to take the chance of committing another turnover, or do you go a little conservative to play the field position game right now?
That's right. Well, the Oilers right now are for 3 on third down. And, I didn't answer your question. I say they're going to throw it.
Third down and 7. Harding trying to loft it out to Jay McGee to set up the screen. The ball maybe just a little out of the reach of Jay McGee as number 55, Joe Johnson, was in on the coverage, the linebacker for the Shamrocks, and will force a punting situation once again for Randolph.
So I'm trying to spread it out. Jay had a cape on right now, and it's a Joe Johnson, which is very right. Not an interference, but she's covering very tight. So had he caught that ball, it would surely been stopped unless he were able to evade Johnson back there.
Bray Staples set at his 35, and Roberts just getting that off. And the ball will take a favorable bounce for the Oilers.
Rolling inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. Nice run.
The ball will be down.
Line of scrimmage.
A 53-yard punt.
16-yard line.
By John Roberts.
And it'll be first and 10 for Marlboro.
Actually a 53-yard.
13 minutes, 12 seconds remaining here in the second quarter play.
Not bad. Anthony Comer leading the league, or third in the league in punting, but Todd Roberts, who's been used sparingly as an auxiliary punter and kicker this year, had a fine night. He's been their most potent offensive weapon, unfortunately.
So the Shamrocks with a first and 10 from the 17. And a nice crowd on hand this evening for the Shamrocks and the Oilers. It was a hard-hitting contest, and right now, Shamrocks having the better of it. Slot formation to the near side. Jerome again will operate out of a shotgun formation.
Jerome back in the shotgun. Ralph up in the pocket.
Jerome under pressure. And Jerome spins away from one tackler, and Jerome will be about the 22. He was able to lose the tackle of Mike Malcolm, and then spun off another defender and was able to pick up about 6 yards on the play.
Oh, Mike Malcolm's just like a bony hunter who just had his collar run from him because he had him in the backfield. He just kicked open the door of the automobile in Brantford, and Jerome's just right now I get him rushing. Unofficially, of course, for 29 yards.
Center of the field going from our left to our right. Scott Steve.
Second down and 4.
Beccarello, the right guard. Alzaridi is the center. Holt over the left tackle is stepping to 2.
Lang now in as the fullback for Marlboro.
I see right now. No, that's no Slang.
Give this to Bianchini. Bianchini finding room. He'll have a first down as he's knocked out of bounds.
Knocked out of bounds by
Only a first down for the Shamrocks.
12 more yards for
Frank Bianchini. What he seems to do very well, John, is he's able to elude tacklers, do a little dancing in the backfield. He's got good lateral movement. He's able to avoid the tacklers, and that's a sign of a great running back.
He zags and just able to elude any tackler, and that was a hard hit applied by Hagel, who unquestionably is one of the hardest in the secondary in the league.
Yes, he is. First down and 10.
Four first down.
Four first downs in the ball game for the Shamrocks.
Exciting player. He scored off to the near side, right, getting to the far side. Marlboro went from our left to our right, 32-yard line first and 7-0 Shamrocks.
Two wide receivers in the ball game now for Marlboro. Jerome with protection fires over the middle. That pass is complete to Bob Ferrari. Ferrari will be close to midfield and first down. And again, the balance of this Shamrock offense. You play the run, we'll throw. You play the pass, we'll run.
Jerome, after starting 1 for 6 now, already passing 41 yards.
Ralph Jerome, the third string quarterback for the Shamrocks.
First and 10 for Marlboro.
Once again,
49.
Oilers very familiar with Barone as he had a tremendous game the last time these two teams played just a few weeks ago up at Kelleher Field. First and 10 from the Shamrock 49. Here comes a blitz from Comer. Barone able to avoid it, but here's Steve Benkes. And
Barone is checked by Steve Benkes. Quarterback pressure applied by Anthony Comer.
Called a 3-yard loss on the play as number 86, Steve Benkes, adds another sack to his total this year. It'll now be second down and 13.
He played on this team way back in the 80s and early 90s with Billy Turner, now the defensive coordinator. Hasn't lost his step, has made a huge impact for the defensive line this year with Randolph.
Coming into this evening's game, Steve Benkes was fourth in the league in quarterback sacks for the Oilers with 4.5.
46-yard line for the Shamrock.
Steve can add another one to his total this year. 3 wide receivers now for the Shamrocks. Slot formation to the top of your screen. Now Patton goes in motion to the near side. Jerome throws on the run. Pass is complete to Freddie Safe.
Pass is complete to Freddie Safe.
First down.
He'll be about 3 to 4 yards short of the first down as the ball will be placed at the Oiler 45, just short of the 45. So call it third down and 4. 8 minutes, 51 seconds remaining here in the second quarter play, and the Shamrocks with a 7-0 lead on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Ralph Barone to Bob Ferrari.
1 for 2 on third down.
Shamrocks 1 for 2 on third down conversions this evening. Barone again operating out of the shotgun, fires, didn't complete it. 10 for
Freddie Staples, coverage provided by Brian Hagel.
As well as number 55, Derek Rucker. It'll now be a fourth down and 4 situation for the Shamrocks.
Let's see, is this a personal foul or pass interference?
And cause the incompletion.
That's right, penalty marker is down.
Personal foul.
Personal foul against
That's the only indication that we received. I didn't get a specific indication of what type of personal foul.
It's going to be 15 yards against the Shamrocks back.
Fourth down.
It could be against Freddie Staples. May have been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Fourth and 19.
Whistle for
Punting the ball for John Torres. Deep for the number 12, Anthony
He's
Comer.
set at his 15 as he awaits the kick of John Toyas.
Who almost got it?
He's almost blocked. Comer takes it at the 15. Oilers trying to set up the wall. Look out! This could be trouble for the Shamrocks. Here's Anthony Comer across midfield.
Anthony Comer with a 40-yard punt return. A tackle made by the punter, John Torres.
inside the 45 to the 44.
It looked like a tank there with a turret. Directed the traffic, okay, get out of my way. Utility went right down the sideline. Of course, John Toyota, still at his age, not afraid to mix it up. But laid a pretty good lick on Anthony. Knocked him out at the 45, return of 40.
The Warriors just over the Shamrock 45-yard line, first and 10.
Harding, quarterback for the Oilers.
Harding remaining in at quarterback for Randolph. Takes a short drop, looking long for Willie Casey, incomplete. As Curtis Dunlop was in on the coverage. It looks to be, John, that the Oilers are trying to dictate when they want to throw the ball, as throwing on first down sometimes can keep a defense off balance a little bit.
Good point. Excellent point. Charlestown did that last week, Billy. They were throwing on downs they should not have been throwing on. Being highly successful. Maybe Bob Turner's taking a cue.
Okay, so second down and 10. From the Shamrock 45, the ball just over the 45-yard line.
Now second down and 10 for Randolph.
3 wide receivers in the ball game for the Oilers. Harding, short drop, now under pressure, able to get away from one tackler. Now he's going to tuck the ball in himself and run for it. And just get back to the line of scrimmage as number 55, Joe Johnson, was putting pressure on the quarterback. Harding was able to elude the pressure, ran over to the left sideline, and will lose that yard on the play. So 3rd and 11 will call.
Yeah, good play by Mark. That, for all intents and purposes, should have been about a 6 or 7 yard loss. And then just to make it a 1 yard loss. Randolph 4 on 3rd down conversion.
And the key there, John, was that Harding did not try to make something out of nothing on that play.
He made nothing out of nothing.
Well, that's not exactly the way I meant it. 3rd down and 11. Harding operating out of the shotgun formation.
Goes Harding now on 3rd and 11 from the 46-yard line of the Shamrocks. Harding giving out to Jay
Play action fake.
And all the fake to McGee.
Dumps it out to Jay McGee. And Jay McGee just tripped up. And looked to be number 68, Brian Kennett, who got maybe just tripped up Jay McGee. And if he doesn't make that tackle, Jay McGee may have a chance to get a first down. But Kennett made a fine shoestring tackle on the play. And this will force another punting situation.
Fourth down, for the Oilers, number 11, Todd Roberts.
But again, this is an opportunity for Randolph to pin Marlboro deep in their own territory as Freddie Staples will be set at his own 13.
I like the way they played it off. Roberts has had a fine game plan. Let's see what he does.
So Oilers will look for the coffin corner as he just gets it off. As Rob Tomorrow is under pressure. There's a fumble on the play. Staples able to pick it up. And Freddie Staples just short of the 20-yard line, 18.
An 8-yard return by Freddie Staples.
John, how many times have you seen a football game where sometimes the return man will fumble the ball, and just that delay will force the coverage team to overrun the play, and he can pick up big yardage, and Staples was close to breaking that play.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right, because everybody stands and watches the fumble, and they stop for a second and they don't attack, and that does open up holes for return man, plus somebody with a blazing speed with Staples. They've got to watch this guy at all times, contain him, force him inside, keep him in the middle of the field, keep him away from the sideline.
Freddie Staples has been quite an addition for the Marlboro Shamrocks as he leads the league in receiving yardage as well as scoring. So Freddie Staples out of Saugus High has been quite a find for the Marlboro Shamrocks. 1st and 10, ball just short of the 20-yard line. Barone tucks the ball himself and will take it. And Barone will be taken down by Ryan Hale. Sure, he stays down, but not before Barone is able to pick up a first down to the Shamrock 34-yard line. All to pick up about 15 yards. Ralph Barone doing a little more running this time than the previous game against the Oilers. And right now, he's been quite a weapon. 6 first downs on the game for the Marlboro Shamrocks. 1st and 10. On the Shamrock 34. First down for 50 seconds remaining here in the second quarter of play. Shamrocks leading by the score of 7-0.
Playoffs after this one.
A high snap as the give is to Bianchini. Bianchini trying to dance his way out of tacklers and Derek Rucker.
Terminated by Derek Rucker.
And force a loss on the play.
They haven't played the other two. He hurt his last game.
Marker down.
Penalty marker is down. Discussing things.
Well, he played last game, but he hurt his
And
ankle.
the officials indicate that no flag on the play. So disregard the penalty flag, and you can hear the Marlboro side of the field not at all happy with that. Our officials for this game, the referee is Don Higgins, the head linesman is Dave McCarthy, the line judge is Jack Waldron, and the back judge is Paul White. On a loss of 5 on that sack by Derek Rucker, the second down and 15. Excuse me, not a quarterback sack. It was on the run by Bianchini, who lost 5 yards on the carry.
Second down, 15. Back to pass, Bianchini going out.
Barone looking long for Gideon, who's open, and the pass is incomplete and overthrown. And it's Charlie McCoy, number 5, sitting on the coverage along with Brian Taylor. And the ball was just overthrown by Barone. And it's a third down and long situation, 3rd and 15. Again, another big play for the Oiler defense upcoming.
Oh, why is Burrow running? 2 reasons. His receivers are covered and they're getting to him. So that's a good sign. Even though you don't like to see him, he's got 43 yards on the ground. It's a good sign. They are applying tight coverage to their receivers. And also, happy, of course, a staple.
The Oilers have to be happy at least, John. Play this game fairly close with the Shamrocks. Play the battle of field position right now. And look for that opportunity, that break that may come along sometime during the game. So 3rd down and 15. Shamrocks 1 for 3 on 3rd down conversions this evening. Barone again operating out of the shotgun. Here comes Venkis. Here the pass is complete to Staples. And Staples will be tackled on the play by Sam Pearson. Staples is able to pick up the 1st down for the Shamrocks. So a big pass play for Marlboro as Barone threw it right on the money as Venkis tried to get in on the pass rushes. He was trying to spin off the offensive tackle for Marlboro, but was unsuccessful. And Barone with just enough time to get the ball off and pick up the 1st down on the pass completion.
They need 15. He gets 15 and a half. Just sitting there right in front of the Randolph bench. I'm surprised there's somebody in the Polaroid Regal talk.
1st down and 10 for the Shamrocks. On their own 45-yard line. 3 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the 1st half.
Regal's, of course, the USC player who tackled somebody coming off the bench.
For all you aficionados who did not know that. Here's Barone looking long for Gideon. Rich Gideon will be knocked out of bounds after order.
Pass is complete to Rich Gideon. First down.
Number 5, Charlie McCoy, knocks him out of bounds and a 1st down for Marlboro. And Shamrocks trying to open things up here a bit, John.
Yeah, he was open longer than a white hen pantry.
For a score 24. I should always prepare myself when you're done doing color commentary this evening, John.
The FCC does, why don't you? This may get out of hand quickly. Even though the time is running 2:45, they could stop and hoping to a field goal going into the 10-0 deficit. That would be a bonus, I agree.
Well, we'll see what happens here. 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks from the Oiler 26-yard line. Ralph Barone, number 8, again operating out of the shotgun formation as he's done most of the night. And here's a quick snap to Bianchini, and the Oilers not fooled on that one. Play after as number 94, big defensive end Al Casey, gave the stop for Randolph.
Who's that other guy?
Bianchini lost yardage on a play, as the ball will be placed at the Oiler 29-yard line. So call it a loss of 3 for Frank. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Well, they've moved the football tonight through running and through the big play.
Right. All right, a 2-yard loss.
As we had mentioned before, John, the Oilers had to stop the big play in order to have a chance in this ball game. Shamrocks ride on the big plays.
There it is, a 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning!
Officials call time. To the 2-minute warning here in Memorial Stadium. The score with 2 minutes remaining here in the first half is the
Games
Randolph
round Eastern Football League.
Shamrocks by the score of 7-0. Bill Roache along with John Horrigan here in Memorial Stadium. Glad to have you. As this is a meeting of one. I would like to mention the defensive player of the week in the EFL was inside linebacker Jake McCarthy of the Charlestown Townies. He was always around the football as he made numerous tackles, caused a couple of fumbles, and pressured the quarterback, especially on the two-point conversion attempt that would have tied the game for the Oilers. So congratulations to inside linebacker Jake Picard of the Charlestown Townies.
Tony?
And also we'd like to mention
Tony?
the other offensive player of the week were the Dukes brothers,
Marlboro's 9-0.
Chad and Chucky. Chad and Dukes
Nine,
will be
yeah.
fullback for the Pitt Panthers in college. And Chucky, former champion of the Boston College Eagles. And both led the Warriors to a 41-33 victory over the Leominster Lions. Chad Dukes had one reception for a 36-yard touchdown. Returned a total of 62 yards for a touchdown. He picked up 38 yards rushing. Chucky Dukes rushed for 45 yards on 7 carries.
Second down.
Four kickoffs back for 147 yards. One of them a 75-yard touchdown return. So congratulations to both Chad and Chucky Dukes. Players of the week in the EFL along with Mac Marine. Second down and 13 for the Shamrocks from the Oilers' 29-yard line. 1:59 remaining here in the first half of play, and the Shamrocks with a 7-0 lead. Is Barone under pressure? Vengus in pursuit, and Barone will be forced out of bounds. And gets the ball off. Intended for Bob Ferrari. The area goes into the pace, and Ferrari just out of the reach of that pass, and Barone doing a fine job getting that ball off just before he got out of bounds, and nearly a touchdown for the Shamrocks.
Guard trying to save a basketball in bounds when he straddled that side line. Ferrari almost had a certain advantage.
And the key is he didn't lose any yardage on the play getting that ball off, John.
Third down.
Now it's a third down and 13.
They're a big second team.
Yeah, well, they're going to get time.
1 minute, 50 seconds remaining here in the first half, and the Shamrocks with a 7-0 lead over the Oilers.
2 for 4 on third down.
Shamrocks 2 for 4, 50% on third down conversions this evening. As Barone comes up to the line of scrimmage, a few times he's taken the ball under center snap tonight. Pitch to Bianchini. It looks like it's going to be a halfback option. Bianchini fires. Intercepted by Charlie McCoy. And McCoy will bring it back.
The pass is intercepted by Charlie McCoy.
The 15-yard line it looks to be. And it'll be an Oiler first down. And unfortunately, if Charlie McCoy isn't tripped up, he may have been able to get more yardage on the interception return. For Oiler defense, making the big play with the interception by Charlie McCoy. And with a minute 41 remaining here in the first half, the Oilers will have it. First and 10.
Randolph's ball. First and 10.
Just over the 15 to about the 16.
Folks, reminder of the 50-50. Jackpot climbing.
Mark Harding brings his teammates up to the line of scrimmage on first and 10 from the 16.
First turnover.
First turnover of the evening for the Shamrocks. Harding rolling to his right, looking long for Dan Breaux. Incomplete. And once again, they're showing that they want to throw on first down. Hopefully to keep the Marlboro defense off balance. Second down and 10 situation. The ball just out of the reach of Dan Breaux as the Oilers were looking to pick up a big one. Now Jeff Powers comes out of the game and Anthony Comer comes in. As we have a minute and 36 remaining here in the first half. This is unofficial time as the official time is being kept on the field. Harding again back to throw. Fires over the middle. His intended receiver looked to be Willie Casey, but the ball was thrown well over his head and incomplete. In a dangerous situation right here, John. The Oilers.
Second down. 10 yards.
And a tough break for the Oilers.
Tough call against the Oilers. You know, that's a very gray area down in that corner of the end zone, okay? When you work that hard, he makes a spectacular catch. And when there's no line going off, and again, I know we're at an angle, but ridiculous.
So by color commentary, just a tad upset with the goings on here by the officials.
Second down.
Second down and goal. Here's Comer. Again to throw. Throws, fires, in.
Thomas pass intended for Willie.
Intended for Willie Casey. And he'll now bring up a third down and goal situation.
Third down.
And in this situation, John, this may be the perfect time to roll Anthony Comer left or right, give him the option of whether to pass or run. He's a good enough athlete, as we all know, to be able to pick up more than a few yards on a carry, so we'll see what happens.
I'm with you there, Coach.
So a timeout on the field that looked to be taken by the Oilers.
Timeout. Randolph.
That'll be the second timeout taken by Randolph. With 21 seconds remaining here in the first half. 7-0 in favor of the Marlboro Shamrocks. The sixth time to
Roache reminder to get the right into the half.
And look, Bob Brennan looking to extend the
So
win
there's
streak.
Nick, it's 43 last chance for team focus. Last one from last week.
1994 EFL competition.
Let's come up with the half.
And Bob Brennan has done a fine job with this organization as he is stockpiled with talent up and down the roster.
And I'll give this back to you right after the half, okay? Okay, if you want, we'll put it on.
Yep. So a third down and goal situation for the Oilers, just inside the 10.
Me and announcer, you're bulletin board and daycare center here, all encompassed in one. Women's social club.
Always a crazy situation up here in the press box.
And I'm a crazy guy.
Third and goal.
So third and goal for the Oilers as Comer brings him up to the line of scrimmage.
I always like that old Stooges adage, quiet announcements on broadcast.
Trips formation to the right side, to the top of your screen. Ashton Ashby has the lone setback. And Comer trying to direct traffic. Comer still holding on to the ball. Now throws to Ashby, and the pass completely
Coverage pass intended for Ashton.
as the ball just seemed to flutter up there as Ashby was up down for a hole. But number 9, Ron Jones, was able to close in on the play and break up the pass, and it would have been a short touchdown for Ashby. But Ron Jones, Johnny on the spot to break up the play. And will now force a field goal situation for Randolph as Dave Canavan has come out onto the field.
Hey, they gave it a shot, Bill. You know, it's fourth and goal. You're in the red zone there, and unfortunately they couldn't put him in. But you called that. Just scramble, roll him out, see what he can do. And he just had plenty of time. He tried to throw across the field. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. 26-yard attempt here by Canada.
So Dave will attempt a 26-yard field goal out of the hold of Brian Page.
27-yard attempt.
7 seconds remaining here in the first half. Kick is up.
The kick is up, and it's good. A 26-yard field goal by Dave Canavan. It's
7, and the Randolph Oilers 3. And the good thing on that situation, Don, is at least the Oilers came out with some points on that opportunity. Off of the turnover. So with 2 seconds remaining, more than likely the Oilers will just split kick the ball and go to the halftime and down only 7-3. And I'll tell you, John, they took advantage of the way they just came away with some type of points going into the locker room.
That is the end of the first half of play with the score, the Marlboro Shamrocks 7, Randolph Oilers 3.
Shamrocks 7.
the selling worth of $32 with the work that is nice jackpot.
I've only choked one producer in my life, and that was about my this guy that's called Horrigan. He's just such an idiot. I feel bad for you.
And now I'm taking the little kid kept running up 10 times during the half.
Close to midfield, and that will be a Shamrocks first down, Marlboro. And the Shamrocks coming out running the ball initially, John.
Yeah, the officials shortened up that halftime. That was a good little 7-minute halftime. Some officials blew one half to play Marlboro, 65 rushing, 97 passing for a cumulative total of 172 total offense. Randolph, 9 on the ground, 18 in the air for 27 yards. First downs, 8-1 Marlboro. 2 penalties for 20 yards for Marlboro. Time possession, 16:33 to 13:27 Marlboro.
Ooh, hard to say that fast. First and 10 for the Shamrocks. Jerome gives to Ian Keeney, and Ian Keeney picks up a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Jason Vega making the stop for Randolph. As the ball will be at the Oilers' 46-yard line. Called a gain of 2 for Ian Keeney. It'll be second down and 8. Chris Storm, number 34, and number 53, Bobby Burr, coming into the ball game, replacing number 94, Al Casey, and 41, Mike Malcolm.
Hey, that 3 points, yeah, give it a cameraman, but it was Torm that blocked that punt.
Storm with the block punt, set up the field goal opportunity for the Oilers. As they trail by 4. Here's the Steve Venkis. Steve Benkus standing at 6 feet 7 inches tall, approximately 240 pounds, and Benkus making the play.
A little better than we've been doing.
Of course, a third down situation, third and
Just put my
9.
40% over here, go and we'll draw.
It's called an offensive one for being
You're an optimist, aren't you?
11 minutes, 58 seconds.
Third and 9.
Third quarter.
For the Shamrocks at their own.
Third and 9 situation for Marlboro.
In the third quarter, Shamrocks.
Surprisingly close game. I thought that they were going to break it open, but the Oilers, you know, give them the credit. They've gone toe-to-toe so far with the Shamrocks.
However, a word of warning, John, the Shamrocks are known to explode in the second half, and we've seen it on many occasions. Here comes a blitz as Marone is leveled. His pass is incomplete as it was in and out of the hands of Hagel was in on the coverage. And let me tell you, Ralph was labeled as Derek Rucker got a hit right in on Ralph Barone, and Barone probably seeing a few stars and cobwebs right now as he moves over to the sideline, and this will force a punting situation.
Two items of note. First, Derek Rucker is still to play tonight. Second of all, he's had a pattern of the season this year with the Randolph Horrigan once they move into the starting position.
So a fourth down situation, 4th and 9.
4th down and 9, punting for the Shamrocks.
Will be punting as Dan Brew is set at his 10-yard line.
27.
Yep, see you later.
Brew will field it at the 8 as the play is overrun by one of the down
Dan Drew on the punt return.
for the Shamrocks, and Dan Brew will take the
40
pass
yards.
to 25.
Return of 17 by Danny Drew.
For the Oilers,
First and 10 for Randolph.
pickup of 17 yards on the punt return by Dan Brew, and Randolph will have it
At
first and
quarterback
10,
number 12.
just short of their 25-yard line. And back in at quarterback for the Oilers is number 12, Anthony Comer. Derek Epps now coming into the ball game, replacing Dan Brew. First and 10 Oilers. From the 25.
The 25-yard line now for Randolph, going left to right. In front of us, and trailing is 7-3. Quarterback is Anthony Comer, and the quarterback.
Here's the pitch to Jay McGee. Jay turns through. Jay will be to the 26-yard line, all to pick up a one for McGee. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Jay just kind of like tried to squirt in and out of defenders there, and couldn't see him there for a while, John. Then hopes his head out there and picks up a yard.
Well, they've always given him the dangerous running plays to the center line off the right guard, usually. But tonight, Jay has only gotten 5 yards rushing. Once they go on the air here.
2nd down and 9.
Keep an eye on him.
Absolutely. Will do. Thanks, Bill. Get the 50-50 numbers. Bill Conley has promised us 20 grand each.
Announcing does have its benefits.
Oh, you bet.
Okay, here's Comer rolling to his left, steps up and throws. In for Jeff Powers, and that ball was nearly
Defensive
intercepted
coverage provided by Khalid Rucker.
by Khalid Rucker.
On the defender, but Khalid Rucker.
Rucker able to break up that play and nearly intercepting that football. Now be 3rd down and 9.
3rd and 9.
9:58 remaining here in the third quarter of play. Oilers 0 for 6 in 3rd down conversions. They come out in 9 formation as Jay McGee is the
They should be coming up and tell me about a bake sale very
the
shortly.
fullback.
They should be coming up telling me about a bake sale.
Right end Jeff Powers, the line to the right.
Third down and 9 to be 26 now for Randolph. Homer.
Homer, play action fake. Now dumps it off to Jay McGee as they try to set up the second. And McGee is picked up on the play by number 56, Larry Heindel.
Nice play by Heindel.
Heindel with a shoestring tackle, very similar to the one Joe Johnson made in the first half, as they tried to set up a similar screen to Jay McGee. And a tackle by Heindel prevents Oilers from picking up a 1st down, and the punt team is on for Randolph.
I was just going to say, if he gets more rushes, 2 yards, 2 catches, 3 yards.
Todd Roberts punting for Randolph.
Roberts to punt.
Staples back for Steve.
As Staples and Patton both set at their 40. Staples will take it. Now he fumbles the ball. The ball is still loose. Staples will take it out of bounds at around the 43. It's calling a pickup of 2 yards on the punt return. A very shaky return, to say the least, as Staples was unable to get a firm grasp on the football.
I know there's a leash bar in Randolph there. He's trying to pick that cat up, bring it in. Finally, he picked it up on a couple of hops, but he nice little handle there, nice little dribble.
Yes, it was, and first down and 10 for the Shamrocks at their own 43-yard line with 8:59 remaining in the third quarter. 73 lead for the Shamrocks.
That's right, too.
Again, I can't overemphasize Roberts. He's a fine kid.
Ryan Craig making the tackle for the Oilers, putting a stop to that running play from the Shamrocks. And it could be a loss of just under a yard. It'll be second down. We'll call it 11.
One of those heavyweight battles where you come in the undefeated champion against a guy who's just barely got his license from the Boxing Commission this year, and right now they're slugging it out toe-to-toe in the 8th round.
Oilers looking to break the 42-game winning streak of the Marlboro Shamrocks. Head coach Bob Brennan looking to pick up pin number 43 on this amazing streak. Second down and 11 as Barone operates out of the shotgun. Barone under pressure. Looking for Gideon, wide open. Gideon will be taken out by at the Oilers 21-line of the first down Shamrocks. And we've been waiting all night for it, and we got it, the big play.
Yeah, the big bomb goes for 36. That's as long of the night to Gideon, who was wide open.
So first and 10 for the Shamrocks at the Oiler 21-yard line.
Jay McGee, 2 catches, 3 yards. Rich Gideon, 2 catches, 70 yards.
First and 10 for Marlboro.
The first half.
And the Shamrocks with a 4-point lead at 7-3. Oiler defense has to tighten here. Ferrari set to the left. Here's the pitch to Bianchini. Bianchini trying to turn inside.
Bianchini on the carry. Stop made by Ryan Craig.
Linebacker Ryan Craig making another fine tackle for the Oilers. Call it maybe a pickup of 1 for Bianchini. We'll call it second down and 9 with 6:42 remaining in the third quarter.
Bill, for a guy who came into the game, listen to my slide, came into the game tonight averaging 10.7 yards per carry. He's got 1 rush of over 10 yards. That went for 12 back in the first quarter.
Sing it? Did you sing it?
So the Oiler run defense basically doing the job, but unable to stop the passing game of Ralph Barone. As again, we have mentioned in the previous meeting this year, Barone had quite a day for the Shamrocks.
He's just a
Play action for Barone. Roll to his left under pressure. Barone fires over the middle. Nearly intercepted on the play.
Nearly intercepted by Anthony Comer.
As Rich Gideon was the offensive receiver and Anthony Comer was able to break the play up, but Comer nearly had himself an interception. That would have been at least the second interception this evening.
What about Bankage like Hakeem or Kimby Mutaba right in your face trying to block it? How Barone got that pass off, let alone over the towering Beckett, so I don't know. But Anthony with a valiant effort there. Third down now, big third down.
Once again, the pass rush having a lot to do with that, John. Of course, the throw in a hurry. So third down, called about 9.5 for the first. On Patton, a split to the near side. Line formation. Give this to Bianchini, and Bianchini on the carry, taken down by Al Casey. Al Casey, the defensive end for the Oilers, with the big play, will force a fourth down situation, 4th and 9. And Oiler run defense really stiffening up down deep in their own territory towards the red zone.
That defensive line has played so spectacularly tonight. Casey Vega, Holland, Torum, and also Ryan back there, Rucker. And then knocking silly Mike Malcolm, even Benara have chipped in as well.
John
Troyes took a 37-yard field goal
38-yard
on the home of Dan Hendricks.
Hendricks will hold.
37-yard attempt. Troyes. A bad snap, and the kick is up, and the kick will be made good. So the field goal is short. That Dan Hendricks had a little difficulty handling the snap from center, which more than likely threw the kick off just a little bit. So the Oilers escape without any points, and they will take over at their own 20, first and 10. Excuse me, they'll taken over at their own 23 as the ball will be taken over exactly where the ball has been kicked. Again, the EFL goes by EFL rules.
From 27.
So the ball is placed at the 27-yard line. First and 10 Oilers. Looks like Randolph will be operating out of a shotgun.
Just as you think Dr. Kevorkian would show up, they'd send him back home. Oilers in this ball game.
With a high snap, Homer with time.
Come on in.
Homer fires over the middle. That pass is complete to Willie Casey.
Connor's pass is complete to Willie Casey.
Blanketed Willie Casey. As soon as Casey made that reception, Petaway was all over him as Petaway had him blanketed pretty good. But a 19-yard reception from Anthony Comer to Willie Casey. And that's the second first down of the ball game for the Randolph Oilers.
First and 10 Randolph at their own 46.
46-yard line. With 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, and the Oilers trailing by the score of 7-3. Dan Grew now in at tailback.
Tremendous poise by Comer.
Here's the pitch to Grew on the right side. Grew will pick up 30 yards to the play as he's across midfield.
Taken down on the play.
45.
Budget Lang.
He'll be short of a first down by about 3 yards, calling a 7-yard pickup for Dan Grew.
Listed as probable before tonight's game. Looked good there. He had a sore ankle coming in, but managed to cut the corner. Pick up 8.
Second down and 2.
They're calling it second down and 2 as I shortchanged Mr. Grew. It'll be an 8-yard pickup for Dan, and it'll be second down and 2 from the Shamrock 46-yard line.
It'll be the I formation with
Ashby and McGee in the backfield for the Oilers.
the tailback is really McGee. Second down and 2 for the 46.
Drew a flanker to the near side. Willie Casey is split end to the top of your screen. Give us to Jay McGee up the middle.
Taken down by Roache.
41-yard line.
First down.
Calling a 5-yard gain for Jay McGee and a first down Oilers.
They got 2 first downs in this drive, Bill.
Folks, in just a moment, we'll be drawing the 50-50 rack on the $115 jackpot.
2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the Oilers trailing by 4.
First and 10 Randolph, 41 of the Shamrocks now.
Comer remains in at quarterback. Tight end Jeff Powers is aligned to the right. Comer back to throw. Quick out. Incomplete. As
Anthony Comer's pass is up for Jeff Powers.
Powers was defended very closely on the play by Khalid Rucker, number 2. And Rucker able to break up the play as the pass may have been thrown just a little behind Powers.
Folks, if you have this winning ticket number, please see Mr. O'Connor.
So it'll be second down and
Third prize for the Roache, ticket number 339201. 339201.
score here. Trailing by the score of 7-3.
Randolph 3-5 Randolph Musclin tonight, and Musclin happening next weekend to make the playoffs.
And again, the importance of this game in terms of playoff implications is the Oilers need a minimum 500 record to qualify for the playoffs. Okay, Comer, now he's going to touch the ball himself, spins off the tackler, still on his feet. Watch Comer go, they try to set him a wall.
And the main Comer on the carry.
Tremendous athletic ability as he's across the 35 25, close to the 30. However, there is a penalty marker down on the play. And illegal use of the hands against
Personal foul against Randolph.
Now they're indicating that there was a personal foul, a blow to the head.
Again, third prize, you want a big call off 339-201. Second prize, you win a Polaroid camera, 339-371. 339-371.
15-yard penalty marked off against the
$18 will draw the grand prize winner moment.
as the blow to the head was the call, a personal foul and a costly penalty, John.
A blow to the momentum is what it was. Now it knocks them back off and get back into their own territory.
So we have now a second down.
Second down and long for the Oilers.
Second down, 20 from the 48-yard line.
20 yards for the first. We're operating out of the shotgun.
Oh,
Fires incomplete.
and the Roache pass is
The intended receiver looked to be really Casey, but that ball nearly intercepted.
I think he was surprised that it came right to him.
As number 2, Khalid Rucker, was able to break up the pass play, nearly had himself an interception. Now bring up a third down situation. And the Oilers are 1 for 7.
Grand prize ticket winner, 339-502. 339-502, you won $115.
We'll see what the Oilers coaching staff has in mind here on a 3rd and 20 from their own 49. Slot formation to the top of your screen. Homer looking long for Willie Casey. Incomplete. Jones was able to break up the play. Jones, a former Randolph Oiler, as well as former Boston Cowboy, is played with a number of teams, and this will force a punting situation once again for Randolph. And again, the Oilers can't get discouraged as they have to play the game on field position as Tom Roberts is set at his 35.
Tom Roberts on the bottom for the Oilers.
Rod Patton, the Red Staples, both set at the 20-yard line.
129 left in the third quarter. This team hasn't lost since July of '94. Over 3 years ago, and we're down by 4.
A wobble of a punt, but Staples will take it from the 20. Staples picks it up the right sideline to about the 34-yard line, and that's where Shamrocks will take over at Purple 10. 1:19 remaining in the third quarter. The Oilers playing this game very close to the vest.
Now they're warning Derrickers right in the face of some of the Shamrocks. This has been a classic game. I think, Bill, you've seen them, you've traveled with the club. I think this is the best game they've played, at least at home all season.
Certainly against the best competition they've faced all year, John. Hanging tough with Marlboro. The key is, defensively, they have to be able to prevent the big plays, as you mentioned. They have to prevent any turnovers. You cannot give this team help. This team does not need any help. Officials have called time.
Officials timeout. Again, folks, the winning ticket number tonight for $115. 339-502. 339-502. Your life
Gives us a chance to
339-502. You have $115. 339-371. You make call right camera. 339-201. You go right to car wash. And 339-105. You won absolutely nothing.
We're off with Renee.
So minute 4 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Shamrocks leading by the score of 7-3.
The time on the clock is accurate.
As the Oilers have played very, very tough this evening. And the feeling that I got prior to the game was that a lot of people felt very, very confident the Oilers were going to come out and play a good game. And they most certainly have this evening. Their last 2 games in order to qualify for the playoff. yard line. Ian Keeney at tailback. Two wide receivers for Marlboro. And the handoff up the middle to Ian Keeney. Look at him go. Ian Keeney across the field. First down for the Shamrocks. As the ball be placed at Oiler 46. First and 10, a gain of 20 yards for Frank Ian Keeney.
Come on up, fat boy. I'm waiting for you, fat boy.
Can explode at any time as we have 18 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play.
He's gonna kick my ass. Where is he?
Second half.
He's gonna kick my ass.
And Oilers trailing 7-3.
That's going to be the end of the third quarter.
And officials call time as we come to the conclusion.
That is the end of the third quarter play. The score of the Marlboro Shamrocks 7, Randolph Oilers 3.
Randolph Oilers 3.
Folks, again, a reminder, last call for these winning ticket numbers, 339-201, that's for the
Last
car
week's
wash.
results in the EFL.
339-371, that's for the camera.
Charlestown County
And 339-502,
the year as they defeated the Randolph Oilers here at Memorial Stadium by the score of 14-12. As it came down to a two-point conversion attempt by Anthony Comer, and the pass failed unfortunately, and the Townies were able to pull out the victory 14-12. Marlboro Shamrocks did their usual damage as they easily rolled over the Cobras from Middleborough by the score of 35-7. The Boston Cowboys took care of the Maine Blizzard, who have had a very, very difficult year in the EFL as they are 0-8 going into this week. As the Cowboys roll to a 35-0 victory. And the Granite State Warriors, in a shootout with the Leominster Lions, were able to prevail by the score of 41-33. So that gets you up to date on last week's results in the EFL. And as we're set to begin fourth quarter action with Oilers trailing 7-3. First and 10 for the Shamrocks from the Randolph 44. Oilers showing blitz. Play action for Barone as he's under pressure. Barone able to break the pocket. Barone still on his feet, and now Barone will pick up a first down for the Shamrocks as he's down close to the Oilers 30-yard line, call it the 29. Once again, Ralph Barone showing that additional dimension to his game gun.
He's got close to 70 yards rushing, 68. That's a big, big play. He has been a thorn in the Oilers' side all night long. That's their first down.
That could prove to be the difference this evening. First and 10 for the Shamrocks at the Randolph 29-yard line. We're just underway here in the fourth quarter. The Shamrocks leading by the score of 7-3. Will take the snap under center. Gideon goes in motion to the top of the screen. Give is to Ian Keeney. Ian Keeney across the 10. Ian Keeney still on his feet. Ian Keeney will be close to the goal line as he's down around the 1 yard line. Called a 28-yard pickup for Frank Ian Keeney.
He was going to in and out and shut it back to his.
And if it wasn't for Ian Keeney being spun around, facing opposite the Oiler end zone, he would have had himself a touchdown there, John. A 28-yard pickup by Ian Keeney.
You couldn't bring him down when the elephant got bumped. He got bumped out around to the about the 1 foot line.
As we mentioned, John, Shamrocks had a history of exploding in the second half, and now they're starting to show their true skill on the Oilers. They lead 7-3, and they have a first and goal from the 1. Malone calling the signals. The give is to Ian Keeney. Made the tackle, but Ian Keeney looked to have lost his balance initially. And Frank may have lost himself a yard on the carry. Again, from this vantage point. We'll call it second down and goal for the Shamrocks. Second and goal. Looked to be a slight loss for Ian Keeney. Shamrocks had 1 yard to go for the touchdown. Second down and goal.
Second and goal out for the 2-yard line for this camera.
Give us to Ian Keeney once again. Again, Ian Keeney stood up.
Brandon Keeney. Booster. In on the stop out. Casey.
Number 94.
Now from Derek Rucker.
Along with Derek Rucker making the stop for the Oilers. This will now be third down and goal. As the Oilers front seven.
Timeout.
Skipping up here.
Randolph.
And a timeout has been called on the field.
Reminder next Saturday at 1 o'clock, the bus will be leaving from the Randolph EFL.
So the Oilers in a situation now.
Regular season game at 4 o'clock next Saturday.
The Shamrocks are trying to go for it on fourth down.
Also,
Is if the Oilers are fortunate enough to stop on this third down play, if the Shamrocks decide to go for the field goal, the worst situation that can happen is that the Oilers can tie at 10, although there is the opportunity of going for a 2-point conversion. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves just yet. First order of business for the Oiler defense is to make a stop here towards the decision by the Shamrock coaching staff. Head coach Bob Brennan in the middle of a 42-game winning streak. And looking to extend that streak to 43 games. Again, hoping that the King, leading rusher in the EFL, averaging 10.3 yards per carry. He is third and goal from the one. Third and goal from the one. Crowd getting a little lively here at Memorial Stadium. Third and goal from the one.
Biggest play of the game, Billy.
Hand off to
Hand off to Ian Keeney. Will be taken down by Steve Berkas. Berkas was able to get a piece of Ian Keeney's playing jersey, and it was just enough to force Ian Keeney down.
John Toyas will come on. They're going to play it safe. Well, that was a big play. What a goal line stand by the Oilers. First and goal, the 1 yard line. There's such a creature. And now it's fourth and goal from about the, say, 1.5. It's hard to bring on John Toyas.
Can't say enough about first seven for the Oilers. They've done the job all evening long. And it looks as though John Toyas will attempt the field goal as the ball will be around the 2 to 3 yard line. We'll call it the 3. So this will be a 20-yard field goal attempt by John Toyas out of the hold of Dan.
20-yard field goal attempt by John Toyas.
And we'll see if once again Randolph can hold. 20-yard field goal attempt.
He was the 38-yarder earlier.
Here's the snap.
Here's the snap, and the kick is up.
And as they come back,
And
20-yard field goal by John Toyas.
as the teams come back up
And
the
the
field,
score is
remaining here in regulation at Memorial Stadium is the Marlboro Shamrocks 10, the Randolph Oilers 3. And once again, the Oilers defense doing a fine
Careful that
job.
goal line stand, folks.
Only a touchdown away from tying this game.
Folks, a reminder, one last call for your photographs. This year, the team photos in the last
And this is the last one
week.
game for the Randolph Oilers.
The souvenir table, also in possession of Ben Still.
It would be a great way to go out if the Oilers could somehow pick up a victory this evening against the 6-time defending EFL champion Marlboro Shamrocks. Here we'd like to mention the honorable mentions in the EFL last week. Winback Jay McGee along with Anthony Comer, Billy Casey, Ferdinand defensive back Charlie McCoy, and linebacker Derek Rucker. Congratulations to all those Oilers
Deep before the Oilers were 25-yard gaps.
last week in the EFL. Drew and Derek Epps back to receive the kickoff. Epps will take it around the 10. Oilers trying to set up the wall. Here's Epps. The call about a 32-yard kickoff return for Derek Adams. And good field position for the Oilers to start things off. With 10:33 remaining here in regulation.
Again, the Shamrocks broadcast here for a special edition. Color commentary.
First and 10.
Sorry, I stunned you again.
Feels like shock cable TV here. First and 10 for the Oilers.
First and 10 for Randolph.
Jeff Powers, tight end, aligned to the left. Palmer rolling to his right. Fires over the middle, incomplete. Pass was intended for Derek Epps. Bruce Dunlop was in on the coverage at around midfield, so it'll be second down and 10.
He's broken up 3 critical plays tonight for the Marlboro Shamrocks and has provided some excellent coverage.
So second down and 10 for the Oilers. 10 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in regulation.
Second and 10.
However, a penalty marker was down on the play, and the penalty will be accepted
Second and 20.
against Randolph.
No, he's holding it right off.
So the ball is holding, it'll be fourth down and 20.
Randolph 3 for 40. Kind of a regular party. Come back. One is holding, 2 are holding, and one is the personal foul.
Palmer operating out of the shotgun. Dumps it off to Ashton Ashby. Ashby takes up in the middle. Ashton is all right out of the catch. It will be close to the original line of scrimmage. So call it a pickup of almost 10 yards for Ashton Ashby. We're calling it exactly 10, so it'll be second down and 10 for the Oilers as Ashton Ashby once again showing his solid play all year long and been a very, very valuable contributor to the Randolph Oilers organization this year.
Yeah, he's mostly served as a blocking back, but once they get the ball from him, he's very difficult to bring down.
Second down and 10.
Second and 10 as Palmer once again operates out of the shotgun. Quick out to Willie Casey. Casey will be taken out of bounds by Chris Dunlop. Willie Casey was able to pick up a first down for the Oilers. As the ball is into real estate at the Marlboro 47-yard line. 8 minutes, 53 seconds remaining here in regulation. And the Oilers trailing by the score of 10-3.
47-yard line out, first and 10. 47-yard line of the Shamrocks.
So we got Sherman moving the ball downfield. Remember, they're only trailing by 7. Bill Clock will run down 35.
Slot formation to the near side. Palmer once again out of the shotgun. He fires and get that. Haskins actually still alive. And Willie Casey made the reception and was labeled for the play. And the officials did not indicate incomplete down the yard. The officials are now changing their call. As initially they said it was a reception by Casey and the ball was loose. And both teams were disputing as the Shamrocks were saying that that was an incomplete pass. And now the Oilers disputing that that pass should have been good.
Well, they would have been lobbying for an incomplete pass had the Shamrocks recovered, but that was a wicked hit taken by Casey. I mean, if you hear up here, we'll have immediately from the sideline. You know, with the humidity down there, it's tough to lose a lot of water. You got to take a lot of water, and the air is heavy. But again, the second and 10 is a pitch play. What's it down?
Second down and 10.
Second and 10.
Palmer under pressure. Palmer. Take the ball himself. As you can hear the crowd exhorting Palmer to put the ball himself and take it with him. Palmer trying to dance his way along the left sideline was able to pick up positive yardage. Calling a pickup of about 7 on the play, so make it 7 and 3.
Absolutely. Keep me on the run he's our threat. He's thrown some good balls there. He's thrown some accurate passes ever since he's come in from Marlboro. But again, that threat of composure that he shows in the pocket, his ability to evade attack when decide if he wants to run. He's going to run like a fullback, shove it right at you.
Third down, 3. On the Marlboro 40-yard line. Slot formation to the near side. Homer fires incomplete. Unfortunately, Jeff Powers is wide open over the middle. Unfortunately, Palmer was unable to see him.
He was there.
Powers caught that ball. There was only one defender between him and the end zone.
That last play where it was for a piece.
This will bring up a 4th and short.
That Delmont was a great ball.
Fourth down and 3. Let's hear it, everybody. 4th and 3.
4th and 3 for the Oilers. With 8:09 remaining in regulation. This now is the biggest play of the game here. 4th and 3. Palmer. And they're looking at the indication on the pass pattern as Homer threw outside. And Derek Evans got inside. Willie Casey took a short pattern and went to the outside, and so there had to be some sort of miscommunication on that pass pattern, so the Shamrocks will take over as wrong quarter.
Yeah, right inside. Unfortunately, that ball was not intercepted because he would have had some daylight right down the sideline. Right now, though, they're still on the prep. Just under 8 minutes to play. See if we can force them to punt it again. They showed a great defensive line search last time. Let's see if they will.
1st and 10. It is to Bean Keeney.
Keeney on the carry.
Bean Keeney. Taken down by Derek Rucker. Also, a 1-yard pickup on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 7:22 remaining here in regulation, and the Oilers trailing by a score of 10-3. Again, this is Bill Roache along with John Horrigan here from Memorial Stadium in Randolph. As Media One brings you all the excitement of Randolph Oiler football. And we've had our share of excitement tonight as the Oilers only trailing by a touchdown. As the Shamrocks have it at their own 41 with a 2nd down and 9 situation. Huge two-on formation to the near side. Give this to Bean Keeney. Bean Keeney finds the hole. And Bean Keeney at the Oilers 45-yard line and a Shamrock 1st down. Call it a gain of 15 yards for Frank Bean Keeney. As the ball is just short of the Oiler 45-yard line.
90 yards rushing back.
3 times down the line.
6:15 remaining in regulation. Ron brings his troops up the line. A 1st and 10 from the Oiler 46. Give this to Bean Keeney once again. Bean Keeney across the 40, 38. Calling a pickup of about 7 for Frank Bean Keeney with the 2nd down and 3. Right now, I'm sure the Shamrocks would be satisfied, John, with running the ball, moving the clock, and basically keeping the ball out of the hands of the Randolph Oiler offense and basically going home with a victory.
Yeah, Keeney's shirt is gray. That's a combination of perspiration and hurt so many times. Only 2 people carried the ball in that game, Keeney and the quarterback. How do you think Big Pete Jackson feels?
Bean Keeney. At the 40-yard line by Buddy Upon a loss of about a yard, it'll be 3rd down and 4. 2:34 remaining in regulation. Another big third down play for the Randolph defense.
I believe the Oilers have 2 timeouts.
They're down 3 now.
It's actually going on through the quarter. Great game. Excellent game.
It's a good low-scoring, hard-hitting game this evening, Charlie.
And you want to handicap this, you can't play.
Okay, play action for Marone. As he lifts it over to Bianchini. Bianchini, he's still on his fingers. He tries to turn the corners. He picks up a block. Bianchini across the 10, 5, touchdown.
Frank Bianchini catches a 39-yard short pass.
A 39-yard touchdown pass. Ralph Marone to Frank Bianchini of the unconventional variety, to say the least, as Marone was able to shovel the pass off to Bianchini, and Frank did the rest himself as he picked up a good block at around the 10-yard line. And Frank Bianchini, when he's in the open field, look out.
Yeah, there's the big play, though. We harped on it early, and we're waiting for it. Holding on about it. And we're about to occur in half. Bianchini with a double pass. And they had Barone apprehended and corralled. And managed to just dish the ball off the last second. Okay, fine, but Bianchini maybe will get 5 out of this. He turns it into a 39-yard gain.
John Torres goes to the one after.
Score is 16-3 on that.
Yeah, that's a pass level.
Nearly got it.
Extra point by John Toyas.
Yeah, good point.
It's good.
John Torres is good.
3 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in regulation. The score has ballooned to 17-3 in favor of the Marlboro Shamrocks. And now pressure is really on the Oilers' side right now with only 3:58 remaining. And pretty much the Shamrock defense will pretty much know what the Oilers are going to be doing at this point. They're going to have to pick up a lot of yardage in little time as possible, John.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them. Being down now by 2 touchdowns with under 4 minutes to play, they've got to march the ball around the field quickly. Obviously, Anthony Comer has done a fine job at quarterback and really started to move the sputtering offense of Randolph. I think that they should have gotten Cole Harding earlier. I think for all intent and purposes, they wasted a half with him at quarterback. He didn't get much accomplished. A little confused out there. I think the strongest suit was Gators. Trying to draw the defense outside. Right now they're in a hole, but they held fast for about 55 minutes with this team.
Derek Epps playing with that ball deep in his own end zone. And that ball is alive, and the Oilers will take over at their own 1-yard line. A costly mistake there is it's a live ball, excuse me.
Trying to run that ball out of the end zone.
And surprised Derek didn't try to run that ball earlier.
Charlie Robert covered the loose ball there. He must have touched it. That does not make sense to run it out of the end zone like that. He got his hand on his ball. But right now, Tiger on the mountain, they've got a K2 right here. They've got 99.5 yards. 19 Roderick.
So the Oilers will have it 1st and 10. Or 1-yard line, so they have 99 yards to go.
Rather deep in his own end zone.
Things aren't difficult enough facing a defense like the Shamrocks. They have to go 99 yards. Comer throwing out of his own end zone, incomplete, intended for Dan Drew. He's in on the coverage for the Shamrocks. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10.
3 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in regulation. And the Oilers find themselves trailing by 14, 17-3. It's been a close game throughout, as the final score will probably not indicate that. It remains this way.
Yeah, it was a close game, but the differential as far as yardage gained by Marlboro and Randolph was probably 3-4 to 1. I mean, they did everything except get in the end zone. So it is deceiving, but it is not. Sponge.
Here's Comer. And the pass is intercepted by Cruz Dunlop, and Dunlop will run to the end zone.
Intercepted by Cruz Dunlop for the touchdown. It is a touchdown return of an interception of 18 yards.
So Coach Dunlop returns the interception 18 yards for the touchdown. And the Shamrocks have now gone in front by the score of 23-3 as things are starting to go again.
Well, you know, he was bound to make a mistake there. In the game that Dunlop's had, I know that he's had a tremendous game, and he's just leading in the scene. Bang, nobody was there. Those are the easiest interceptions to make when you get in this area red zone because nobody's there to stop it.
So 23-3 the score. John Troyes will look to tack on the extra point out of the hold of Dan Hendricks. And a pick by Troyes is score remains at 23-3 as the Shamrocks are now demonstrating their prowess as the top team
next week.
in the EFL.
The Oilers travel for their last regular season game, last game of the season.
So it has to be a disappointing home finale for Randolph.
Bucks needs to be a tough
Again, as I entered the stadium this evening, I
Also,
say
the organization.
a lot of the players and spectators and staff that they thought they were going to give Marlboro a good game, and for the most part they did. But however, the problem is you have to give a team like the Marlboro Shamrocks opportunity to score, and turnovers at times will play a key factor in this evening's game.
The chain gang,
But for most of this game, it's a 7-3, 10-3 ball game.
on behalf of Peter and Mark
They're
Roache,
basically hanging on.
we thank you for all
The
your help.
Shamrocks got things rolling in the year, and now with a 23-3 lead, they will kick off.
Deep in the Oilers from 27, getting drill number 25. Derek checking out for 12. Marlboro reality.
As kickoff goes out of bounds, the penalty marker is down. And we'll see if the Oilers will force Shamrocks to re-kick.
Everybody's confused.
Oilers do have the option to take the ball. But from all indications, it looks like the Oilers will force Marlboro to re-kick. And now the coaching staff for the Oilers is disputing that. Apparently now the officials are not giving them that option. And the officials coming over to the coaching staff to discuss it.
Okay, the answer throw with slash Dunlop.
This is going to be interesting.
Touchdown of the year. His third interception
I believe is that they may have the option of taking it at the 40 or a re-kick with a procedure tack on it. Is that where they keep 25, right?
They do go by NFL rules, John.
Yeah, they're going to take it at the 40.
I think that they will take it at the 40. Head coach Bob Turner discussing things with one of the officials, accompanied by his son Billy Turner, the defensive coordinator.
Re-kick.
And after all that, we will have a re-kick. And we'll see if this decision backfires on the Oilers.
Folks at Marlboro Shamrocks
They could have taken the ball out of the 40, but we'll see.
will have their third consecutive
20,
undefeated season
Oilers have to
as they will finish
take some
tonight
chances at this
with a
point.
10-0 regular season record. On behalf of Randolph Oilers, we wish the Marlboro Shamrocks good luck in their quest for another Eastern Football League title. Montreal Canadiens, New York
Take
Yankees,
it once again.
Marlboro Shamrocks.
Derek Epps will take it around the 15.
Good call by Coach
Around
Turner.
the corner.
Derek Epps
35,
Smothered at the 37.
about the 37, and that's where the Oilers will take over first and 10. As number 62 for Marlboro, Chris Robinson made the stop.
Well, it's typical of the Oilers season. You can take it at the 40 or take it at the 36. They end up with it on the 36. Oh, we get a penalty too. Attack on, I think, an illegal block.
Just then you take it at the 40. Unfortunately, Oilers cannot do that. Yeah, it's good to have a little humor every now and then in these telecasts. Okay, so Randolph will take over at their own 25-yard line after the penalty has been assessed. Ball actually just over the 25 to the 26. 2 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in regulation. And it's desperation time for the Randolph Oilers, as they will be officially eliminated from the playoffs after tonight. Here's Comer, looking long for Derek Epps, and the pass is ultimately by Ron Jones, number 9, the former Randolph Oiler himself. Jones played for the Oilers last year, and prior to that he was a Boston Cowboy.
Oh, that's right, yes. It's about the stretch of the season where Bobby Brennan loads up and raids the rosters of all the other teams in the league, just like the Atlanta Braves, with promises of winning a championship and playing third string and maybe getting in a couple of times. So that goes with his regulars. But Bobby should be raiding the Oiler rosters. I said to Bob Turner, I said, if some of your star players putting on Oiler uniforms or Shamrock uniforms tonight, he's notorious for that. And the EFL for the revolving, allowing the revolving sponsorship prior to the playoffs. It makes it kind of ludicrous. Marlboro doesn't have to do that. They have enough talent as it is, but they love the raid roster.
That is a mouthful, John. I don't even know if I want to comment on it. Here's the pass, incomplete, intended for tight end Jeff Howard. This will bring up a third down and 10 situation for the Oilers with 2:26 remaining in regulation.
With this editorial slash diatribe, I'm just stating the fact I've been in this league now for 8 years, and I've seen it every year. Championships where the Shamrocks load up, and they even do it for the MFL, which is legal when they go to the national finals, which I encourage. You know, you want to take the best players from the region, but when you're dominating the league year in year out, there's no need to be 5 and 6 people deep in every position.
It's quite a powerhouse they have over down there on 495. No question about it. Third down and 10 for the Oilers. Homer. His pass intended for Derek Epps, incomplete. As Ron Jones again.
First pass is intended for Derek Epps.
And we come to a 4th down and 10 situation.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
We have come to the 2-minute warning here at Memorial Stadium. And the score with 2 minutes remaining in regulation is the Marlboro Shamrocks 23. Again, a reminder, the Oilers' next game will be against the Maine Blizzard. 7 p.m. kickoff. Slated for Coney Field up in Augusta. The Oilers will take the trip up I-95. And will encounter more than their share of toll booths as well. Okay, Todd Roberts to the punting.
Todd Roberts.
Tomorrow, the punt return as the penalty marker is down. Tomorrow taken down by Charlie Roderick, number 19.
Making the tackle is Charlie Roderick for Randolph. And there's only flag in the play.
And he was also there. So penalty marker down. And illegal block against the Shamrocks. So the ball will be marked off from the Shamrock 30-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go, minute 47 to be exact. And the Shamrocks well on their way to their 43rd consecutive victory in the EFL. Marlboro machine continues to roll on.
Folks, this will be the Marlboro Shamrocks' 43rd consecutive Eastern Football League victory.
exploded here in the fourth quarter.
5 yards to down.
First and 10 now, so Marlboro back down.
First and 10 for the Shamrocks from their own 20.
147 left in the game. Shamrock will cross.
Shamrocks brought into a tight formation and will more than likely just put a knee down and try to run this clock out.
And
Who would be your Shamrock player of the game? Would it be quarterback Barone? Or would it be Bianchini? I think Bianchini was a vampire. He was on a real game in the dark night. And put them away with that shovel play run. You know, a lot of runs where it should have been brought down with second, third, fourth, fifth efforts. And I think he epitomizes the tenacity of the small little club. So I'm going to select him as my offensive player. My defensive player, he's done lots of runs on the entire night. I thought Steve Bankers played an amazing game. Casey played well. Ryan played well. That's tough. Who would you pick as your defensive player? I think you can concur on Bianchini.
Well, I concur with Bianchini, but I tell you, Ralph Roache had a big game as well, running with the football. Defensive player of the game for the Oilers, well, tough to say. I mean, Bankers had a very good game. Al Casey had a very good game, but I think if I had to give it to someone tonight, I'd probably give it to Derek Rucker, number 55. As the defensive player of the game. Jay was thinking about one certain player, as I believe the defense, for the most part, did very, very well tonight. Fortunately, when the Shamrocks have too many opportunities to score, eventually it's going to come to haunt them. Exactly.
Defensive player